I remember thinking I couldn't really brush it off.
People kind of stay away, and they have this preconceived notion about it because of the shootings and of all the crime, and I think that it's a definite problem.
The city as a whole needs a lot of work, and hopefully things will start to come around.
Jesus Walks is a song about the city of Philadelphia. It came about probably in late 2006, early 2007. Throughout 2006, every time you would turn on the news, you'd see something else about, there's been another homicide, there's been another shooting. When it got to the end of the year, I remember watching the news and seeing them tally it up, and it came out to be 406 murders in that 1 year alone.
Well, the first time I heard it, I knew that Zach had really just hit this one out of the park. I mean, he captured pretty much to a T what the city of Philadelphia is going through right now, its struggles. It's a beautiful city, but it does have its problems, and I think that he really honed in on that.
Well, Zach first played for us, I guess, in the beginning of 2007, and he had told us that he wrote this new song, so we wanted to hear it, and me and Scott, we both really liked it a lot.
I live so close to that city, and not only that, but a lot of my family's from Philadelphia. A lot of them still live in Philadelphia. A lot of my friends go to school over there, St. Joe's, Temple, LaSalle, Drexel. So it was a little bit tough to, pass it off and not think about it. The thing is, the song actually has nothing to do with religion. I use those characters and those figures to kind of prove a point, or to kind of, I guess, exemplify like the severity that I felt, and the extreme nature of what was going on in the city.
I think that it doesn't have to be Jesus, it can be any one of us. What would, if we were to take a step back and look at the world and say, are we going in the right direction? I think that's the question that Zach is trying to ask with this song, is trying to get the listener to ask, hey, are we doing the right thing here? Are we proud of what we're doing as a society? And I think that he did a very good job in portraying that, and that really comes out in the lyrics.
I picked these characters because mainly because people are familiar with them, and people know the characteristics of these figures, and how they're supposed to act. And I feel like in the song they go so contrary to what everyone's image of them is, that it really, it creates this good kind of struggle in the song.
It actually has something behind it. It means something. Most songs are just written because, but that's like a real, that's something that's actually addressing an issue and something that's historically significant.
I tried to make the characters in the song more or less people that you could pass walking down the street, or see sitting on the curb. I tried to paint them as just everyday people that I'm kind of walking through the city and having a conversation with. And each one of them, they demonstrate this extreme nature in a lot of different ways. We have Jesus, then after that you have the Virgin Mary, and that's, I think that's a really powerful part of the song for a lot of reasons. But the whole part about her getting beat to black and blue by a man with a crucifix tattoo, that's kind of this hypocrisy. And not only hypocrisy, but it also demonstrates this complete lack of mercy and compassion and empathy and sympathy at all in the city. And that's kind of what it felt like, when you wake up every day and you turn on the news and you're seeing, reports of 2 shootings last night in the city, and 3 more dead in the city of Philadelphia. You kind of feel like, where is the mercy and where is the compassion? And where is the tolerance and where's the love? The funny thing about the preacher is that he's based in reality. He's based on a real person. I remember I was in the middle of writing this song, and there was a knock on my front door. There was a guy there, a preacher, and trying to sell me on his point of view on religion, and he handed me a pamphlet. I took the pamphlet and I was getting ready to throw it out. For some reason, I decided to just kind of scan through it. I opened it up and I started to read, and the first thing that caught my eye was, this section about how, religion is the best thing, and God will forgive you and you'll be saved, but only if you're part of this particular religion. If you're anything else, then you're not going to be saved. You have to be part of this particular religion. You know, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. And then I kept reading, and I got to this other section where it said, you know, no matter what you do, no matter what kind of sin you commit, God will always forgive you, and God loves all of His children. And, you know, you'll never be outside of God's love unless you're homosexual, because God doesn't love homosexuals, and they're not welcome in heaven. And it really upset me. But I think even more so because I was in the mindset of this song. And here's a guy who I felt like had a lot of potential to spread kind of that tolerance and love and compassion, and instead you have someone who's still you know, who's still kind of a bigot, and who's still kind of spreading along intolerance and, you know, hatred and fear and all this other kind of stuff. And it bothered me to the point where, you know, I threw the pamphlet out and decided right then and there that the preacher needed his own part in the song. Scott's got great vision behind the camera. You know, he's got this unique ability to kind of look at a scene or a setting or a situation and really see a photograph in it.
Zach approached Brad and myself about the video a few months ago, and right away it sounded like something I wanted to be involved with a lot. Not only because he's my friend, but because I really like this song. I really think that it holds meaning for a lot of people. I don't usually use a subject in a lot of the pictures I take, so this was new for me to try to include a subject within the atmosphere of which I'm shooting, or the scenery in which I'm shooting. And I think that a lot of the shots he was happy with, and I'm happy with. That kind of it focused on his character, but it also really brought the city out. And I think that kind of combination worked really well.
Scott did a lot of photography, and he also did a lot of stuff with deciding where we were going to shoot, what we were going to shoot, and he got one of the best shots in the entire video, I think, where the arrest is being made in the background, and Zach's walking into the foreground of the shot. And I think that was one of the best shots because that was, again, reality. We didn't need anybody doing any acting or anything, and we just used what was going on in the city at the time.
Brad, as a filmmaker, has great vision. He knows Philadelphia like the back of his hand. I mean, he grew up, you know, across the river, and him and I have been going to school there for 4 years, and so he really knows. He knew what the city was like before the idea for this video came around, and before the song came around. So I think that was key.
You know, there was no doubt that I wanted to work with Brad on this one. I knew that if anybody could get across visually what I was trying to do musically, that he'd be able to do it, and he would match every image and every symbol that I had in the song. He'd be able to match it with the video.
It was nice being able to work with each other, because we've known each other. All of us have known each other since high school, so it's never a big deal to say, like, no, that's not a good idea, or yes, that is a good idea, and you don't have to worry about honesty being a factor. And so we were all able to kind of say exactly what we wanted, or what we thought would be a good idea.
Working with someone who's your friend makes the whole process not only go faster, but it makes it a lot easier. You know, there was a great line of communication between the two of us. It was a great kind of collaborative effort. Hey, I'm Zach Caruso, and if you guys like what you just saw, be sure to check out my website at www.zachcaruso.com. Also check out my MySpace page at myspace.com/ZachCarusoMusic. And while you're on there, be sure to check out Brad's Risen Industries MySpace page at myspace.com/RisenIndustries.